In order to understand some of what we've seen, let's just consider something. If we take first a larger ball and a smaller ball, or let's say a large marble and a smaller marble, we notice that the smaller marble sits down further in the track than the larger marble does. And that gives the larger marble an advantage because the smaller marble is going to end up spinning a lot faster than the large one. Spinning a lot faster relative to its size and in every way than the large one, which means that a larger amount of the kinetic energy of the small marble will be taken up by the spinning motion, whereas the large marble will have a smaller proportion of its energy attributed to the spinning motion. So there's going to be a definite difference there. Let's test this by rolling the marbles down an inclined plane that isn't grooved. Actually, let's not use the marbles, let's use the well, let's go ahead and use the marbles. Let's see what happens. Okay, I think you can see, I hope you can see these marbles. Let's get them up closer to the edge here. Okay, they seem to go down the incline at about the same speed. About the same rate. Let's tilt this up a little bit so you can be sure to see them. Whoops, tilted it too much. Now they're not going anywhere. Let's do this. Okay, they stay pretty much together. The large one might have a little bit of an advantage, but nothing like the advantage that it had earlier. Similarly, with the two steel balls, one larger than the other, if I release them together, they go down together. And one doesn't have the advantage that it does on the grooved metal track. And again, we can explain this by the fact that the smaller the ball is, the more of its kinetic energy goes into its rotation. Now when we have a hollow ball, more mass is concentrated toward the outside. Now in order to get down a ramp, whether it's grooved or not, this ball is going to have the same essential rotational motion as the smaller. Okay, so it's going to seem to always be behind. That's because the greater proportion of its mass is toward the outside, so as it rotates, the mass is moving faster because, of course, it's the outside of the ball that moves fastest. Whereas if a ball is solid all the way through, sure, there's a lot of its mass is concentrated toward the outside, but some of its mass is also concentrated toward the inside, and that mass isn't moving as fast as the mass on the outside. The mass of the hollow ball is concentrated where it'll move the fastest, and therefore you're going to have the greatest concentration of kinetic energy in the larger ball as opposed to the smaller.